Managers, what is going on with Project Moon? I swear, last Kanto we got a pseudo-murder mystery. They had great twists and turns, but now, after everything we just went through with Heathcliff, we now have a different type of mystery. And who is stealing time? I swear, if the next section of the game is just another detective-like section, I'm going to... Oh my god. Anyway, how well did they keep me on my toes in this intervallo? What did they do right? What did they do wrong? You know, after the insanity that was my last video and how controversial that one was, I'm so happy to bring you something that is loved by all. So without further ado, let's get into Timekilling Time. Honestly guys, most of the issues I had with the ending of Canto 6 get fixed in the first moments of this intervallo. As a tangent here, yes, I know it's early as hell for one, but I don't care. I know that a lot of you guys got angry with my last video, but just so you know, I take each of these cantos as just their section when I talk about them, with maybe a few jokes or references to future events like I did in the intro of this video, and when I talk about the characters coming into the canto I'm about to talk about. I in no way think that any section of this game is bad. Saying it's worse than another section of the game does not make it bad. Just like if we were to say that Canto 2 is the worst canto in Limbus by comparison, but by itself, Canto 2 is a good and fun canto. If you haven't seen my last video, it's up on screen now. But with that being said, with Heathcliff showing his change of heart or mind, or whichever you say, by him changing the word on his bat from revenge to remember, it was a great way to show his change. Better, in my opinion, than saying that the name of a flower and that it's resilient. You know what I liked better than the change of the bat? The insane attention to detail that the director of the game takes. Look at the flashback in the beginning of this intervallo. Even though in the present the bat had already been changed to remember, in the flashback they change it back to revenge. To show that it took a couple days for him to actually change what was on his bat. This was such a good thing. A lot of games would have forgotten this or patched it in later, and I can't stop loving this. You know something else I can't stop loving? When you guys slap around the subscribe button along with its friend the like button. Thanks. So much of what happens in this intervallo is predicated on things that happened in the previous canto, that it retroactively makes the previous canto better. Like the fact that somehow, even though we paid our time tax in the T-Corp world, that just by Dante learning he has an ability to slow down time, we got hit with an additional $10 billion tax. It was nuts. Instead of talking with our leaders, T-Corp thinks stopping the peons in the street will help pay the bill somehow. So guys, let's talk about our favorite new things that we get to see in this intervallo, with possibly the greatest thing we come across. This crazy man right here, with his idiosyncrasies and crazy mannerisms. I could feel the love from the community as soon as he hit the screen. Herbert just takes control of every scene he appears in. And not only that, but he hints at a deeper importance of the stars, which, retroactively, gives Damien more importance than even before, considering he comes from a distant star. I might have to delve deeper into this sometime in the future. But yes, while Herbert tends to steal every scene that he is in, we also see so much new tech in this intervallo. It makes sense considering that this is the nest where the original league with Yi Sang was set up. Speaking of things that came back from past cantos of this game, the Yerdavir from Canto 2 is back. And managers, is it nuts that this intervallo did a better job at explaining Raja than her own canto? Like seriously, I feel we learned more of her insecurities, goals, and fears almost 5 cantos later than in her own. But we are not talking about that at the moment. We're talking about the amazing tech we get here. Things like the time guillotine, which is used to extract time from time supercriminals. The scene where Marisol just jumps up to pay the company's debt had me rolling in stream. Managers, this crazy center is quickly rising up the charts to become one of my favorites. Back to the Yerdavir, and I've gone off on a tangent away from them for far too long. They are back, and due to them, we have the aptly named portable adjustable frequency periodical lightning apparatus attachment soundware generator, which, let's face it, this is just Project Moon sharing that they can string a whole bunch of words and still make it sound good, cool, like something we would use in the real world. However, the cooler item would be the Time Razor, used by the Time Ripper himself. I personally love that how, other than hookers, this killer is basically just a time-stealing Jack the Ripper, and it is so great to me. Now, and let's say it out loud, guys, it's time for the horror section of the Intervallo. This whole section could be easily written up as the worst case of late-stage capitalism. If you want to be lazy, I mean, I get it, some people get more time than others, time is money, who fucking cares? The true horror here is losing your agency, literally, and getting stuck in the ultimate rut. You may not be dead, but if the workers show us one thing, it's that slow moving monotony that comes from not having enough time to live in a day. Imagine being frozen in place. The whole world moves on as if you are dead. And even though it may take you years to feel it, the slow and ever-present decay of all of time builds up on you until you are finally able to move again. Not feeling like time has passed, but knowing it has, as it all crashes back into you. And that is truly what brings the fear into this Intervallo. So I've already brought up a lot of what happened in this Intervallo, but do I find it good, bad, or somewhere in between? Well, even though I'm starting to notice a pattern of detective style Cantos and Intervallos in this section of the game, it has not quite stooped to the case of a weak system like Law and Order or Criminal Minds yet. Where Canto 6 felt like an Agatha Christie novel, this particular Intervallo feels more like a Sherlock Holmes story than anything else, down to the funny outfits and the cheap smoke pipes. Like I said before, here we learn more about Raja, the fact that since she left the Yudavir that she kind of feels like she's not really doing anything anymore. The fear that she's just tediously moving through her own existence and that her life will not amount to much. This fear is what paralyzes her as she confronts the killer. It makes it so she's not willing to attack. It makes it so he feels like he has some sort of hold over her before he runs off, you know, because I would run off too if Ryoshu was chasing my ass down through a dark alley. Speaking of Ryoshu, my girl Ryoshu figuring out that the clock was broken and showing that she's not just a murder hobo, but a valued member of the community with her own ability to figure things out. It's a nice touch to her character development. And even the oft aloof Hung Lu has a few moments to shine here. He offers sound advice, somehow figures out that the killer's time razor shouldn't affect the sinners due to their time not being their own. All of which makes him stand out more in this Intervallo than so many places before. Honestly, when it comes to hijinks and shenanigans, the only Intervallo that has surpassed this one is the Hell's Chicken one. However, when you add in the writing, the pacing, the character development, and everything else that Project Moon is known for, you probably get the best Intervallo to date. A few other small things that had me laughing was the zippiness of the manager of the plant truly keeping up with his namesake of Bumble. Don's over ecstaticness of wanting to be part of the lovely Sherlock Holmes team, only to be sidelined by Virgilis and the rest of the company because they're too unstable. Honestly, guys, everything about this Intervallo had me at least smiling a little bit, if not completely interested in the story in it. The upbeatness of this Intervallo after the solemnness of the last Kanto was definitely a breath of fresh air inside of this game. So honestly, I'll definitely have to say it was good. There wasn't really any bad moments in it. I'm going to give it, the seal of approval for the game. Well, guys, that's my take on the Timekilling Time Intervallo. What'd you think? Did I miss anything? What was your favorite part of the Intervallo? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, I stream all my playthroughs here on YouTube every day except Sunday from 4 to 6 Central Time. If work doesn't hold me up, you should definitely come check it out. And while you're on the channel, why not check out our awesome Project Moon merch? With all that being said, remember guys, like always, be good to each other. See you in the next video. Peace.